just doing a test here. Anybody who's actually seeing this? I'm just getting the sync right. So I'm going to start trying to test my sync now. Down, down. Okay, so it's a little behind. Second delay on my microphone on OBS. I'll put in a 2-second delay now and see how that is. So, up, up. Perfect. We are synced up to play Little Big Planet later on. Who's watching? That must be me watching. Anyways, yeah, if you're here, thank you for coming in for a couple minutes. I'm not streaming right now though, I do apologize. Oh, monkey with a gun, welcome. Sorry. Mute that. Anyways, dog, thanks for showing up. Oh, lag. Can't type in chat for some reason there, monkey. Sorry. Monkey, if you are still here, it looks like you are. I am planning on doing an Asteroids build. Like, you know what? I may even just do it now. LBP 3. It's been months since I've even touched Little Big Planet, so might be a bit rusty. Oh, we are going to need music to listen to if we are going to play this. It's going to be quiet as hell. For some reason my trying to play a record. I'm gonna see if I can get some music going in here. I don't think I installed any music on this PS3 though. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, cool, playlist. I don't know how to get this to work. Hopefully this works. Oh, it looks like it's working. Thank goodness. Alright. It's funny, I threw an LP on and it just spun in its place. It didn't even go. Monkey with a Gun, are you still in the stream at all? Type in chat if you are, that'd be nice to see. God, where's grid? Okay, there's grid. So I'm just gonna make a super mini version of Asteroids right now. I'm not making a big one. I just want to see how the prototype would work. So normally in Asteroids, when you go to one side, you wrap around the other side. I'm hoping the audio is not too loud. I'm just going to check that. Oh, well, there you go. There was no audio at all. This music is too much for me. Okay, I called it. That's that. Alright. Why is my record player not playing records? Since nobody's in the stream, I have to figure that out right now. That's better. All right. If you're in the stream and you feel the audio is a bit weird, just let me know in the comments. So again, we're building Asteroids, so I'm making it small scaled. And again, I am learning the controls, so bear with me. If you are a Little Big Planet Pro, I am very Rust. Actually, I should type in the comments Rust, D-Rust, because I'm very much that. Pardon me. Okay, so I've separated my top and bottom. We'll just put a key on the top and bottom as well. I don't know if I'm going to label things on the keys just yet. We can label them when we get to that point. So we will just go and make not visible good, and we'll make this one yellow because that's a yellow. Turn the grid off. I really wish they had a hotkey for grid. So what's going to happen, I think, in my mind, I haven't really actually practiced this or ever built an Asteroids in Little Big Planet, but when I'm the player and I hit this specific spot here, right, I want to be coming out down here in this spot, right, as opposed to if I'm coming out on this red side here, I'll be coming out on this red side over here. So we can already say whatever position I'm in here, I'm going to end up in here. So I don't really need to worry about like a teleporter teleporting my character to a specific point. I just need to have him move my character down whatever this distance is between these two walls. That's all I need to do. So that should be pretty easy to achieve. And we'll do the same for the red. Again, this is all theory. I've never actually done this. Pardon me. Okay, and now I'm just going to make an object, I guess. Alright, behold the magical ship. This will be our ship. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll run a thing where this will move to the left, hit that wall, despawn itself, respawn however far this distance is over here. And that should be it from there. Welcome to the stream, Billy. Yes, Little Big Planet will be very old soon. Well, I'm already old enough as it is, so. Let's see here. I just want to make sure. Great. I don't know if you guys hear the desktop audio coming through. It's not showing up on my OBS, so I do apologize about that if it's not working correctly. Okay, so let's just get the mover down and then have it kill itself when it hits a red block. Now we want impact sensor, right? Because a tag sensor has a radius detect. An impact sensor will actually detect that wall. I do recall there being an actual caveat with the holograms touching physical objects, so they may not actually touch at all. So that'll be interesting to see if they've patched that. Again, total de-rest here, guys. So we want to require a tag, a red tag. It's funny, I was thinking about Little Big Planet, the first one the other day, and how much Little Big Planet has changed. I'm going to turn this music down, sorry. And, you know, I was wondering if anybody's actually listening to the stream and anything I'm saying is, you know, would you like to see builds with all this digital stuff, or do you like the pistons, the physical nature? Because Little Big Planet, the original one, was very much a physical game. It wasn't an actual... you know, digitally driven game as much as it is now. So anyways, let's test our movement here. Okay, so the tag didn't even fire. So this is the same issue I had before. So we're not gonna, we'll just remove this. So I have to refigure this out again. It's been months, almost years since I've touched this. So let's see what happens here. So it did work. So what's going on when it crossed the red to not work? This is something I remember always struggling with when I would make animations with the holographic material. There we go, it works now. Didn't work before. Yes, Billy, Little Big Planet 2 did feel a lot more completed, and you know, you can certainly do a lot more things in it with the tools they provided. The music creator was certainly the biggest improvement, I thought, for that. You know, so I'm curious. what movers we have here. Okay, here we go. So we'll put on just a normal mover. This will be our X mover. There'll be I'm gonna have to make 2 separate keys for each individual wall, one for the right wall, one for the left wall, because it's gonna need to know that it needs to move left and right when it hits a certain wall. So that'll be another thing. But that's cool. We'll just delete this. I don't have to kill my guy anymore. I'm really happy about that. That's freaking awesome. Okay. So I want 100% deceleration, and I want to go back to the left like hella fast. Maybe that's a bit too fast. Basically, I'm trying to have him move to the other side of the screen without you seeing him as the player, right? That's sort of the whole hope. But again, I'll show you what I mean. So like it's gonna hit this and it's gonna turn off real quick, and maybe it might just work by itself, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to add a timer to control that distance travel. Yeah, so, and it's not strong enough either. So I may need to deactivate the hologram and then shoot it all the way to the other side, unless somebody in chat has an idea here. I'm gonna try that. I think another really good thing about Little Big Planet 2 is there's a lot of people really picked up their game with making movies. Like I'm really impressed when I go on YouTube and I see some of the videos people have made in Little Big Planet 2 and even Little Big Planet 3, which added more layers and all those other things. Okay, so let's do 100. Still not hard enough. Okay, so we'll do a one-shot timer on that wall hit, and that should be enough to at least bring it back to position. And then when the timer turns off, it's moving back again to the left. And if I turn my deceleration down, that's a bad thing, so we don't want that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, yeah, I need a timer. Okay. Okay, so let's say 2 seconds he'll travel across the screen. And I think it's just a reset from there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Cool. Where'd he go? Alright, so I need to invert that, obviously. Because I don't want that to fire until it's actually hit the... Now, it might be firing with or without me hitting it, though. That's the one issue. Yeah, it's dying before I even have a chance to do that. So I'm just going to slow it down, make it real slow. This is all a part of making things, is you have to test them. Testing is everything. Okay. And it just disappeared. So it's crashing into the wall and destroying itself. So we'll make it a bit shorter on the fire. 1 second. Okay, so here we go. I will fix all those bugs later. And it didn't fire again. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Never mind. Hasn't even gotten there yet. So it's hitting this outer red wall key. Sorry, again, you don't see these things sometimes. So this is giving me a rough approximation though. And it is going fairly quick. Obviously needed to go a bit quicker than that and slower than that. So we'll just pause this and bring this over. It's funny. This game is so weird because I obviously never moved this board away that far away from the object, but its movement caused it to do that. I feel like I'm not doing something right with this timer. Oh, that's it. Okay. So I have this other mover that's active constantly. So what I need to do is whenever this is in motion, I need to deactivate my other mover so it has its full momentum available, because this, I believe, is restricting that its ability to do that. And then I can reduce the timer, and I may not even have to do that split second thing. Let's see. Oh, that's a bit better. So I should just bounce off that wall, like it's like jumping on the wall. There we go. Oh, I feel accomplished. We're really close. Okay. So now what happens when I speed up the speed? More speed. Still nothing. That's weird. Doesn't seem much faster at all, really. 100% strength. I don't know, we'll turn deceleration down a bit, and we'll turn this up to 100. Okay, and we will also do the deceleration to this as well. That may be another factor. Okay, that's getting really darn close. We just need to really give this a bit more time. Too much time. But it was moving really fast, which is great. That's really close to spawning inside. Okay, so we'll just take this as is, and we will do this, and I have to change these. So I'm going to make this one red still, and I will change this one to purple so it doesn't trigger it. And then we'll just recopy this whole circuit again for the other side. So boom, 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 lovely. Look at that. And then so if he was down up here, he's just gonna go to the other spot where he did before, right? It's perfect. Fantastic. And the real advantage to this is that you're not despawning and respawning a vehicle that the player is controlling. Like, the same momentum and everything that you have should be present. Well, no, actually, I think the momentum would be lost. Again, this will be something that I'll have to test later. I was not expecting to do a build, but, you know, I had Monkey with a Gun come in and Billy say hi, so I decided to do this for a bit longer. So really all I have to do is copy this again for all 4 walls, which is a bit tedious, but, you know, it's a start, you could say. Now for this, since all 4 are going to be controlling this mover, well, this mover actually is going to be my joystick mover in the future, right? So we're just going to take that out, and we will put in an XY mover. That way we can just play around with some variables later. We're not going to be throwing the controller in just yet, like we're focusing on the spawn, because keep in mind I'm going to have to do this for the asteroids that scroll, right? And then you shoot the asteroid, it breaks apart. The smaller pieces of asteroid need to also do the same ability where they flip through the screens. So it's going to be a little tricky. It's going to require me to deactivate hitboxes and stuff like that as they're transporting themselves across that playfield. So it does get a bit, you know, a bit more involved. All right, so here we go. That's for 1 wall, and we're just got to do this times 4. With the appropriate movement in the correct direction, of course. Okay, and we'll separate this, make this one a green, or the lime green. Okay, so right, we'll make this left. So again, select purple. Our timing we know is okay, we don't need to play with that, so that's good. We need to go in the opposite direction, so 100 in the other direction. Yes, that is correct. Okay, and then as for these ones, these will be yellow and lime. Now we're going to remove these and make them 0, the X value, and then we'll probably put a negative 100 for Y, and then we'll just flip them around, the colors around on the switches. Oops. Okay. Okay, so it should still be, oh no, here's one thing I forgot to do. So now that we have 4 of these, I need to have an OR gate. And this will basically take any of these that are firing, and it'll give me the ability to control this NOT gate that I was using just for the one timer before. So it's very, very handy to have this. So I'll just expand our play area, bring this up here. Okay, so again, whenever any of these timers activate, I need to disable the momentum of whatever is currently moving the object. Very important. That should be it. Alright, so I should have the exact same characteristics that I had before with the one setup. Let's see. Oh, geez. Okay, so something went terribly wrong. I'm going to assume what's happened here. I may have to do some logic. That these timers are a pain in the arse sometimes, because what's happened here is that, yeah, okay. I think maybe my red and my blue is messed up a bit here. Or my red and purple. Red was a negative 100, so I'm going to go back to the left. That was right, and this should be positive 100. Okay, so what's happening is that the walls are way too close to, it's actually hitting the other wall, and it's projecting itself forward. So we'll just separate these a bit further and see if we get lucky. Again, we're just testing this. That's better. It's getting a little whacked out still, so we'll just cut down the timer, I guess. Oh, I didn't do this. That was the other thing. So I need to turn the deceleration on this mover up, because its momentum needs to be killed right away. Really? What's going on here? So I wish I could slow this down. That would really help me a lot. So I'm moving forward. There's no timers active. Good. I hit it. Fires. That fires the other one, which in turn pushes it forward. So again, I'm just going too far forward, and then it's just building up the momentum until it jumps. Okay. So the walls, again, are still way too close. And the other thing I need to do is obviously add the ability to ignore these inputs when I'm in this travel state. So when any timer is firing, I need to remove the ability for these keys to fire. So again, it's another layer of things. So I may even just rebuild this whole thing under a different method. But you know, it's certainly interesting to see how things work when you build them. It's sort of half the fun of Little Big Planet. I spent a lot of hours on this stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll just make it a bit further apart again. I know it's silly, but Again, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what it is. Like, I shouldn't have so much momentum moving on that. That's very strange. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay, and then we'll just fine tune it from here. So that's correct. Yep. Again, I've lost my part now because I've screwed around. Oy vey. I'm gonna flip the LP here. This is seeming way better, just extending that timer a bit. Looks really good. Okay, and it is to my advantage to not deactivate the key, it looks like, because if when you see the player go past the red line, he actually scoots like he's coming in from the other side, so I actually kind of like that. It's a neat little effect. So the only thing we need to do is deactivate the actual sprite to make it look like it's traveling from one side to the other. That's it. And then, you know, maybe I'll add some other things. If somebody has some ideas in chat, I'd love to hear them. Okay, let's pause this. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't need to see him whenever this OR key is active, or this NOT key is active. So I just basically take this and plug it right into my hologram material, I think, and I'm done. How do I go to this? What's the button for freaking preview mode? Oh, here we go. I know there's a hotkey for it though. There's got to be a hotkey. So that's, yeah. You see it come back on that bounce back, which is an issue. So what I would do there is I would, it's almost like it needs the timer extended more. That's what it looks like. Really. So if I were to just do this, I really feel like it's pushing it at 0.5, but we'll see. Yeah. Well, it also requires a lot of time, Billy. It does require a lot of time and making mistakes. As you can see right now, I'm making a ton of mistakes. But that's how you learn, right? You gotta screw up and make mistakes. You know, I go back and look at some of my Little Big Planet 1 levels, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I made something like that. It's pretty impressive. So if anything, again, we'll just confirm this in the actual player. Yeah. Like, I don't see it, the ship turning on when it comes back. Okay, it's not. So that's good. So let's get rid of the 0.5 seconds and we're good. That was strange. Again, it's probably going to do it again. We'll see though. Yeah, it's doing it again. So let's see what's causing it to turn on. So pause. Yeah, I missed it. I'm going to try and catch it when it comes back to see what it's doing. Okay, so this is where it is before. Yeah, the trophies are nice. It's cool that they gave incentives to getting trophies on the PlayStation Network. I'm assuming that's still a thing. So clearly my mover is firing before it hits that back wall and turning on the sprite again, which is something I don't want to do. So what I'll do is I'll just add another timer physically for the sprite to know that it's getting that 0.5 sec, because I don't want to mess with the movement. The movement is set, you know, so I'll just do the same thing that I did with the actual movers. I'll just put in a timer. I just copied it essentially, and then I will run that to my material, and that should hopefully resolve the issue. See, it's already off. Well, because it's in count still, which is stupid, so put it in 0.5, which is what I theorize is the correct time, and we'll see. Still see it. And then, because it's hitting that firewall, it's it's telling it to disappear again, but not move forward, which is strange. What's going on here? Okay, and then I also want to invert this, it looks like, too. I'm figuring out the logic here, guys. You're going to have to bear with me. Sorry. Turn off. Interesting. Did anybody catch the Little Big Planet 3 speedrun? It was at AGDQ recently. It was pretty interesting to watch. Okay, I think it's working correctly now. Again, there's like 5 different types of timers. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different types of timers, my goodness. It really does confuse me after a while. Like, so that's good. Turns on. Still not turning off when it's supposed to. So that's not what I want for count. We'll just go back to normal start stop. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is keep pushing these walls, and eventually the walls are obviously going to be off the screen, but it's still hitting that stupid wall. And my sprites, like, you can see the sprite's not turning on right away. Like, I need that sprite, so that's good. Hits the wall, and it goes to the left side, but it's turning off before it hits, well, should be turning off. Yeah, like, I shouldn't even be seeing that animation of it turning off as it's leaving the wall, so this is all wrong. So pause it, catch it. So let's get rid of this. This is not working the way I thought it would. And we'll just reconnect that. Yeah, that's ugly. See, so it's running a connection out of the board, back into the board, and out to that. So that's not acceptable. Really bad logic there. So again, this works the way I want it to, more accurately than the other method, except for the little bit of turning on at the very, very end before it gets to the left wall. I need to figure that out. And really the only solution is make these a bit longer, and then I'll make my play field smaller. These are all out of sync. Goodbye. I'm gonna have to think about the logic on this. I just started the stream, guys. I didn't actually think I was gonna be doing the big build right away. I wanted to actually think about the logic and everything first, but it's giving me a good idea of what I can't do, so that's neat. I wonder if there's like a teleport widget that will teleport me to a X position but not the Y position. Okay. Perfect. I figured it out. We're going to use the follower. The follower will snap you directly to where you need to go. So I have to redo this whole thing again, which sort of sucks. So I'm not going to be using the movers, so we'll just get rid of those. Keep the timer. Keep the timer just to control the amount of travel time. Okay, so now that I've erased this mover, I want this follower to basically pull our guy to the red wall, this red wall with the purple switch on it. But the one thing I need to do is, okay, here we go, disable allow up and down movement. Yes, so I want to disable that. And I think for the other method, for the left and or for the bottom and tops, I just turn the follower on its side and I disallow up and down movement. I believe that is the correct method of doing this. So yeah, cool. All right. And then we want it to go to a key. Am I forgetting something here? Oh, here we go. So many options. So we want to go to the purple key. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. And that's it. And then again, it'll still disable our timer or our movement and still disable our guy. And actually what I could do is actually make a toggle. So as soon as I hit any of these 4 switches, I just turn off the sprite right away. And then as soon as I hit the other wall where it's supposed to respawn it, it turns on the sprite right away. I think that would probably be the better method of doing this. And then I can eventually get rid of all these timers and everything that I've added. For testing purposes, of course, right? So here we go. You didn't follow anything. Did I do something wrong? Oh, you got to turn up the radius. The radius was probably small. So just max out the radius totally. Boom. 100%, 1000%, infinity. Fingers crossed. This is the thing. You never know if this stuff's going to work. See, it didn't work again. I don't know what's going on here. What am I doing wrong? 100%. Ah, that would be our problem. So theoretically it should be stuck to that wall until 0.4 seconds is up of its travel after this. There we go. Ah, it works. It's working, everybody. I'm happy. Happy, happy, happy. Okay, so now I can get rid of my 0.4 delay and we can move one step closer to an Asteroids build. This is so cool. Alright, so we will get rid of that. Ooh, how do I do this? This is where I'm talking about that flip-flopping thing here, and what I mentioned before, whenever it hits one of these walls, it needs to turn off that sprite right away. So we'll just do that right now. So an OR gate, because we need to look at all 4 keys at the same time. We don't care. And then that's going to toggle a state, right? And that state will be our sprite itself. And that should be it for that. This will handle the sprite animation for just the warping, obviously. And then you can tie all that into your, like if you want to have more sprite animations for this ship, which like the explosion will be one animation itself. Or I guess the localization of where the explosion happens, I should say. Alright, let's test that. Should be fine. Slightly concerned, I'm not seeing it at all. Okay. So it is working, it's just inverted. That's the one issue. So we'll just pause that and invert this toggle state right here. Boom, done. And that should look nice and happy. Without the delay, like the delay is still controlling that, but it's good. So we can just bypass the delay now. So whenever I hit this red, well, I'm going to keep these. I believe you can select all of them and just adjust the global time for each one. I just want it to travel for 0.1 second. It's like a quick toggle mechanism. It's not really, you know, the end of the world. I know it's a little bit extra logic, which may lag things, so I do have to keep that into account. Oh, so it is causing a problem. What's going on here? Okay. This is interesting. So how did that cause... Okay, so it's turning off before it even actually hits that left wall. That's what's going on right now. So I had to make it 0.2 seconds for now. I know I did something in the past with another game where it's called a Schmidt trigger. That's what they call it in the engineering terms. Where you have to go all the way to the other side or past a certain threshold until the circuit's re-engaged. But this is fine. I'm happy with that. So we'll extend our walls and put some wacky rotation on, or movement on this guy here and test it out. Cool. This is neat. And just for everybody's reference, I'm using the hologram material again. That's a bit ugly, but whatever. Gets the job done. Now, I don't know if you guys can actually hear the music I'm playing, because my OBS is not working correctly and showing me the sound levels of things, so maybe you could help me out there if there's an issue there and just let me know. That'd be great. Okay, again, we'll do the same for the opposite side now and make that go to the red side, which is the other side. And copy it for the up and downs. Now again, turn it on its side. And I believe this is the lime green and that's the yellow, so I want the yellow to go to lime green and the lime green to go to yellow. Pretty straightforward. So the yellow goes to lime green, and the lime green goes to yellow. And again, we disable movement. I probably could have selected all three and done that, but that's fine. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Let's reverse that. We don't want to allow up and down movement. Okay. So again, just test it to make sure all these changes that we just did. See, again, something's changed already. Always test. And it'll obviously be my timers. Something's wacky with those, 0.2. Okay, so I do need to put the... Oh man, this is brutal. Okay, so we're gonna cheat here. This is the cheat. Yeah, this is a dirty little cheat. Actually, showed it to Undead Spiral. Probably taught me this 7 years ago. It's a pretty obvious trick, but, you know. Some people don't get it. So you basically take all your keys and you put it in a switch, and you just control the whole switch itself. That way you don't have to run a whole bunch of logic in and out of something. I did this a lot in the fighting game, if anybody's ever actually played the fighting game that I made. That worked out really well. So basically this OR switch will turn that on. Oy vey. No, that's incorrect. Yeah, I have to think about this. I need to turn off the key detection when any of these is fired. So that would have been the same as my mover turning off. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna flip the record here. So I'm just gonna reset this timer right here. As you can see, this timer that's active right now is causing my issue. So we'll just set that to 0.2 and that should be fine. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yes, it is deactivating the keys, but when it gets back to here and it starts moving again, ugh. Yeah, I had to think about this. Yeah, you know what? Let's go look at a build that I've done, because I did this in an actual video that I've done before. So let's look at something I built before. Sure, why not? Save it. Also, if anybody wants to play multiplayer, I have everything ready to go. So a while back I made a video with a spaceship in it, and the spaceship's moving through a star screen, and I believe the stars are just little things going to the far side of the screen and then warping themselves back. Okay, this is my Christmas special stuff that I did years ago. This is not it. That won't be this, obviously. Come on. Well, if anybody remembers my last stream I did, this is, I think, it right here, actually. I made a Valentine's Day stream last year. And the whole point is you basically try and, well, let's play it. Basically, you aim your arrows. It's like bananas on QBasic back in the DOS age, if anybody's that old. But essentially, you aim your arrow like this, and you were to, I think it was, yeah. Oh, you can hold down your shot, and that gives you more power. That was the whole objective of this build that I did. But again, not what we're looking for right now. Okay, I know how to fix it. So it's good that I left. Oh my god. Okay, so what I did is, you know how I'm using the followers to move my character from the right wall when it hits it to the left wall, and it's actually entering the left wall. I need to put a radius on the follower to basically disable itself before it actually gets to that wall, and then that will be the problem solver for me right there. So return to pod. Please don't load that level again, thank you. Okay, it was this one. Also, if you guys are curious, I am planning on streaming other things, like actual games, not just Little Big Planet, so let me know if you'd like to see that, because I'd really like to have people wanting to see that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 on the minimum detect range, and that should theoretically stop the follower before it gets to that point. Technically. If that is correct. And then reset this timer, of course. That was really nice that they added the current time in there. I think it was a sync time before back in the day. Okay, so we're still doing the same thing. This is process. Okay, 0.1 second. This is so unfair. Okay. So I need to turn it off sooner than it gets to that side, I guess. So I'm just going to move him off. See, the problem is that this is already firing, so it's okay, good. Okay. So it's still firing when it hits that back one. And the other issue I'm seeing here with the followers is that I don't have a deceleration on this, which is extremely important. And these are all 0.1. Just thinking here, guys. Like, I can just copy this chip here that has all the microchips for the walls, and then say, you know, if any of these become active, wait 5 seconds and then read the keys again. But it's just, I shouldn't have to do that. Like, this should work right here, this minimum detect range. You know, I made that one 2, this one 5. Correct. So I just caught it right on the money. So it's still following that, and then it immediately fires the other one, like I saw it fire. Think. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to hit my switch. Okay, so I'm using the sprite disappearing, reappearing logic to control the reading of the switch logic. But I think I've screwed up by doing that. I need to double this up because that logic needs to be independent of the other logic. Okay, so I know it probably didn't make sense what I just said, but it will make sense later on. Okay, and then we'll just disable this for half a second or something like that, and then we can bring all these back up to 0.2 again and see, like, look how cluttered the logic board is already. Let's see, something I would have liked to have thought about before I started this, but again, why not? Okay, cool. So we're just disabling all our timers. Come on, stop, you son of a gun. Let's disable the timers again. Just go up in here, select them all, make sure they're all on 0.2, and let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm really going to increase the time on this now. Just, yeah. What are you doing? Well, I don't know. If I can't get this, I may have to call it for a couple minutes and just sort of regather my thoughts here because... Oh my god. Alright. I forgot to reset the timers. Just one little thing. Timers are all set. What's going on here? Okay. No, they weren't. Okay, so that's not working. Okay. My ship goes to the right. It hits this key here. This red key, which in turn hits this timer, which travels to the left side for 0.2 seconds. After 0.2 seconds, I start moving to the right again. If anybody's just joined the stream right now, I was doing a test stream. I just decided to play around. I'm really de-rusting from Little Big Planet right now. It's been years since I played this game, so I'm learning things again. And the issue I'm having, well, is a spawning issue. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'll bring these... Oh, crap. So my issue is I'm trying to avoid a triggering of a switch when I get to the left side, so I can actually delay it so the normal movement that I have from my player can continue. Oh jeez. So again, reset all your timers that are controlling movements. Very frustrating. So all reset, it will move normal now. Boom. So what's happening is it hits the red wall, it wants to go to the purple wall, but the purple wall is triggering when it hits the purple, but I need to deactivate that trigger. What's the other option here? Like I've also sort of thought about, you know, what if I just not even turn on a follower and instead I just turn on keys, you know, so I always have the followers active like constantly inside this circuit board, right? And then when I get to whatever position I want this guy to hit, or if he hits this red wall, then this red wall has a trigger on it which will turn on this switch, which will suck my guy over to that side. Now the question is, here's the question. When I hit a corner and I have two followers firing at the same time, how is that going to affect my momentum moving to the perpendicular corner? So it's a couple things I need to sort of think about here. I obviously didn't think of, but you know, this is still a lot of fun to mess around with. And I've already put a delay on these movers. The delay on the movers just to make sure they get to that position that they need to get to. And the other advantage of these is they delay your physical movement. So if you're using a joystick, for example, you want to disable that joystick movement when you're teleporting your player to a different area. Jeez. It's a real brain scratcher though. And so my theory is that it should stop following this wall when it gets into a certain distance. So if I were to delete this guy right here, and I am just gonna, for the sake of the bouncing back and forth, I'm just gonna get rid of this other mover for the time being, and we will turn this on as well. Okay. Let's see what happens. So what's going on here? This follower is set up to go to the purple key. Why is it stuck to the red key? And it's on follow. It's not on flee. This is very strange things. So sorry, I gotta rewind until I get that timer back. I don't know what's happened here. Everything was fine, and then I removed that timer and it just went total bonkers. Okay, I'll just copy this key here. Screw it. I'm gonna sit here forever doing that. No thanks. Make sure the right timing's on here. Yeah, that's correct. Again, we will just get rid of this until I perfect this one thing I'm trying to work on. See, it's, what the heck? Oh, wow, I'm so dumb. Okay. Yeah, I'm really dumb. Really, really dumb. Okay. I need to have this active. We'll just turn it off that for now. It was affecting the movement. That was the issue. Sorry about that. So let's try this again. We'll run directly from the switch into the follower and the movement control, and it should do the same sort of thing. It's not. Interesting. Okay, so this was thrown so hard, it didn't even have the time for this mover to catch up, although it is on 100% deceleration and everything. Let's try that again with a bit higher speed, but I think it's going to do the same thing. Yeah, that's strange. Okay, it is coming back obviously, right, but not in the method that I want it to. So we do need the timer, which is dumb. So there we go. That rules that out. This is really how I'd spend a lot of my time building when I would do this stuff. So we'll just go back to here with the timer. And okay, now the timer doesn't work because I hooked it up wrong. That's why. You want to go into the reset, not the input. There we go. Good. As you can see, it's hitting the other timer for the key, so it is definitely hitting that key. So what we want to try and do right now is expand this a bit more. I'm trying to just stop it before it actually hits that wall. It'd be really nice to do that. Oh, there we go. And then there's the one problem. Shit. I don't know if anybody sees it. I'll turn this off so you can see it. So what's happening is that because of the way I toggled things before, I've now lost my ability to retoggle my ship back. So again, you know, whenever you change one little thing, it's really important that you test everything else. I know it's annoying and tedious, but I wouldn't have got that. You know, that would have been just one of those little things that you miss. So I would have had to been like, oh shit, I got to redo this again. And how do I forget how I blanked out this chip here. I think it's a trigger button. Nope. There we go. Okay. So that movement's good. So essentially I'm going to hook all my timers up to this, but I did that before and then I had that flickering issue with the sprite, which didn't work correctly. Like, I could cheat and go online and look at somebody's build of Asteroids in Little Big Planet. Yeah, I could do that, but I don't want to do that right now. I want to try and figure this out. It's fun. And there's no... see, the thing with radius detection on switches is... Let's get a tag sensor here. I don't think I can detect a body, rigid body. Like, let's say the key's on the central circuit board of a big spaceship, right? And I just want to see the very tip of that spaceship has that key on it. I don't think there's an actual rigid, like the switch would have, like the radius of my detect would have to go over that microchip that contains that colored tag. So that doesn't help me. Damn it. So I really do need this. This is very important. That's funny. Alright, I'm going to write some things down here. I'm going to make a graphic as well, because the graphic sort of lets you guys know what I'm working from, and it gives me a roadmap. But I do want to give a special shout out to everybody who's commented in the chats. Billy Caswell and Monkey with a Gun, especially Monkey with a Gun. He's commented on some of my videos on YouTube. I appreciate that. And again, thank you for coming to the stream. I'll probably be restarting the stream in a couple hours after I've sort of come up with the game plan. And if you have any ideas of what you'd like to see me play, I'm all ears. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.